It felt like we were being told that we were losing our job.
Happy birthday, me. We signed the contract, we paid the money, and we actually
It was a different house. Where do you want us to reroute it? So this summer we were in Kansas City and then we went to Arizona. And our time in Arizona was probably one of the craziest times of our life. And as we were talking about it, we realized that so little of that was captured in our vlogs. I feel like there's some things we couldn't share right in the moment. We had to wait until some things were resolved. Sometimes it actually felt like there was a lot going on behind the scenes, but we didn't know how to share it. There was so much upheaval, and so we decided that we wanted to make a video of the top 10 crazy things that happened while we were in Arizona that you guys haven't heard about. On September 4th, we woke up to an email from YouTube explaining that because of a settlement with the FTC, there were going to be changes to the way monetization works on YouTube, and it was going to have a drastic impact on channels and creators. And it was hard. It felt like we were being told that we were losing our job. And we've been doing this for 5 years. We've been loving doing it and building and working and connecting. It's such a beautiful opportunity to be on YouTube, and we felt like a rug got pulled out from underneath us. And it was hard emotionally, I think, because we were going through so many transitions at that time. We just moved away from our home in Kansas City where we lived for 9 years.
The house had just sold.
Yes, and we were getting ready to come to Puerto Rico, but we didn't have a place to live here yet. So it felt like everything was up in the air.
Our stuff was in transit, getting ready to get loaded on a boat to go to Puerto Rico.
And it just felt like having our business thrown up in the air too was just, it almost felt like more than we could handle. It was a great opportunity for our faith to stretch and to focus on what really mattered. Because while it felt like so much changed that day and so much was unknown, we still sat around as a family that evening. I think we had like macaroni and cheese for dinner with the kids.
Hopefully.
And we were all there together.
Because there's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo with the YouTube settlement, I've spent days researching it, trying to understand everything I can about it. And then I flew out to California, met with YouTube. I flew out to DC and met with the FTC.
You're going to DC again. Not only is Jeremy trying to help our channel, but he's trying to help YouTube creators and viewers understand what's going on and understand what they can do.
Which is probably why I will be making another video about this, going into a lot more detail.
Now, going along with this, on September 4th, if you remember, our belongings were on a truck.
Getting ready to get
on a boat and go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, with all of this uncertainty, we were like, how can we send our stuff to Puerto Rico when we don't even know if we're gonna have a job where he can work in Puerto Rico? Anyway, I went on a run and I came back and I said, Jeremy, turn the truck around.
We were lucky because of the hurricane that was going on just around that time. It hadn't gotten on the boat yet.
And they said, all right, we can reroute your truck because it hasn't gotten on the boat yet. Where do you want us to reroute it?
So we sent it to Arizona and we stuck it in a storage unit there.
We moved again. Guys, I did not pack that truck with the intent to have it in storage for years. I packed it knowing that I was gonna have that stuff with me. Like, the swimsuits were all in different boxes for this kids and like our filing cabinet. Like, there were so many things. Like, as everything was coming off the truck, I was like tearing open boxes, looking through it and being like, okay, I don't think I need this year or next year or for however long I'm in Puerto Rico.
So we unloaded everything, unboxed everything, took what we needed, put everything back, and then loaded it in the storage unit.
It was that simple. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So this might be the funniest thing that happened to us.
This happened.
It was pretty crazy. Okay, so we have a beautiful house that we are going to be living in here in Puerto Rico. But we were needing to come back to Puerto Rico to get the kids started in school because we decided to send them to school this year, 2 months before that place is available. And so we needed some temporary housing. And by a variety of string of miracles, we found this place to live in. It's so beautiful and meets our needs perfectly, and we just feel really blessed to be here.
The funny part,
it's a short-term rental, so we signed the contract, it was all done.
We paid the money.
Weeks later, I was talking to my sister-in-law.
2 days before we flew to Puerto Rico.
I was like, hey, do you want to see where we're going to be living for the first 2 months that we're in Puerto Rico? And so I pulled up the link of the house. And I started scrolling through the pictures. And I was like, this looks different. And Jeremy like peered over my shoulder. He's like, that's not what I remember that looking like. And I was like, me neither.
We signed the contract, we paid the money, and we actually
It was a different house.
It was a different place.
It was a different place.
We were actually moving
So
to.
I didn't know that our friend manages more than one long-term rental. Guys, I pay attention to details. Like,
Well, luckily-
I'm usually kind of on top of things. This is an indicator of how crazy this month was. But we're happy here. This is definitely the one for us. Jeremy and I didn't eat much sugar at all in the month of September.
Oh, that's a
when
big
we were at
deal.
the cabin. Jeremy actually has lost a bunch of weight recently.
Coming up on 20
I'm
pounds.
so proud of you.
Thanks.
But today I found this at Costco. Hashtag not sponsored. But today we have been eating sugar, but we've been eating sugar so much less.
It's
and we've
because
not
it's
been
my
eating.
birthday today, actually, while we're filming this. Happy birthday, me. One of the things Kendra and I have learned about travel is that we want to minimize how many times we're bouncing back and forth between places.
That's what uses up so much of our energy. Packing up everything, finding the socks.
And during our time in Arizona, we botched it. From the time that we moved everything out of our house to the
In
time
Kansas City.
that we left to go to Puerto Rico, we were in 16 different places in like a month's time.
It was a lot back and forth from the cabin to my parents' house.
Yep,
But it was
mostly.
also hotels and other family. Your hair does look awesome.
It's like, what's he doing with it? It normally looks really good when it's done, but I just went swimming. The crazy thing that happened was we had major health insurance problems. I spent
Yes.
hours and hours, several days on the phone.
And then with the bills not getting paid, they were gonna come after our credit.
It was scary.
Like we were getting sent to collections and we're like,
and
no,
frustrating.
wait.
Well, I think an interesting part of this story is after I had spent hours and hours and hours talking to someone, but then Kendra had a 5-minute heart-to-heart where she just let them know how she was feeling and what was going on.
I made like a really personal connection.
It got fixed.
I ended up crying. I was not intending to cry. Like 2 days later, everything was fixed.
Yeah.
It was miraculous. We're a good team. Good cop, bad cop, bad cop. How does that?
Good cop, bad
We
cop.
played that. Not on purpose though.
So you know that for us to get Janae to drink her milk, she watches a show. We've talked about this before. And we were going up to the cabin where there's no Wi-Fi. And so I downloaded a movie on the iPad that Janae could watch. And I chose Frozen.
Let it go. Let
Janae
it go.
became obsessed with Frozen. And while we were at the cabin,
only movie.
here was the thing. While we were at the cabin going through some of these crazy things that were taking a lot of our time, they watched Frozen.
Over and over again.
300 times?
Maybe.
7,000
I mean, we played
times.
outside, we did all of that, but
Yeah.
if Jeremy and I were needing to like really talk through something important, which was happening, we
Put
would turn
Frozen
on
on.
Frozen. And
Frozen babysitter.
oh my goodness. We shared that we sold our house. This was our first time selling a house because it was our first time owning a house. Selling a house is a lot of paperwork.
The appraisal came in under what the person was willing to pay, and that creates a whole new negotiation. It like opens up the
But it was
box.
like 2 days before closing. So we were right at the end when we got the appraisal and it just was challenging. I feel bad even bringing this up because I know people go through so much worse. Our house was only on the market for 9 days.
And then it closed
A month later.
very close after. Again, though, I
Yeah.
think you handled this one with a lot of grace, and you came
It went
back,
well.
and we were able to negotiate and come to a point in the middle and resolve it. And closing still happened,
It did.
which was miraculous.
So here's the thing. Each of these things individually might not sound like a lot, but when you add them all together, it was a busy month. I learned a lot that month.
What'd you learn?
It was a stressful month, but I actually feel like I was pretty happy and relatively peaceful through it. And I feel like that was a breakthrough for me. I mean, you guys know I struggle with anxiety and depression and with so much stress and so much transitions and just general chaos.
Not having control over things is a hard thing.
And being constantly out of our element. We weren't at home in our own space and all those things. I felt like I was thrown so far out of my comfort zone that my only option was to truly cling to faith. Like just absolutely cling. I have prayed so much this month, and I can really feel that strength. Like I feel like in the midst of the storm and the unknowns, I feel peace and certainty in my God, that no matter what lies ahead, we will have the strength to face it.
Along with that, I think what has helped me is daily gratitude. Just looking for those things that are such a blessing in our life, pointing those things out and recognizing them really does lift everything.
Seeing so much good in the midst of the chaos. Thanks for listening.
Something I'm going to do in this video too is actually turn on the comments for this video, which have been off for a long time. And we'd love to hear what's going on in your life, what's been crazy, and what is helping you pull through it.
Good night. J House out.
I narrowed it down to my top 9.
That's still a lot of choices. But this is actually really fun. There's so many options.
Guys, this is a little bit overwhelming.